Hello, guys. This is Ty, aka the Flip Man, and here's the update. You guys have been tripping out about my Dealerator, aka PropStream tool, and some of the updates have been made by PropStream on the developer side of it. So what I've done is I brought my guy Burton back. He was kind enough to share his time with us to show us those new updates, but also we're going to get into how to build some lists, how to create some groups, and also to find phone numbers for sellers and buyers. So without any further ado, Burton, are you there?
Yes, Ty, thank you so much for this opportunity. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm pretty much going to bring you up to speed on several new updates we've done to your real estate investment application. What you'll notice is the first update we made to your application was that we extended the search bar. This will prevent lengthy addresses from being cut off. We also decided to remove the price, bed, bath, and property type filters from the top of the screen. These will now be located in the filter menu. As you can tell, the filter menu has also been updated to allow you to add more specific criteria. Also, the more section is no longer there. Again, we've now replaced that with the filter menu. Now, in the filter menu, the first major update that we applied was owner occupied being the first question asked. The reason for this, or one of many reasons for this, is that we wanted to potentially help you immediately vet potential rental properties or prevent extra work, essentially having to hunt down the owner at a different location. So we felt that that was a priority in terms of getting that first thing done, taken care of. The second major thing that we did was that we took our check boxes, our listing types, and dropped it into a single drop-down menu. The reason for this is that we had several users that were slightly confused with the check mark process. Some of our users thought by checking more than one box, it meant that they were searching those two criteria together, and that was not the case. What ended up happening is, depending on how many check boxes you had, will vary on how many results will populate. So if I had pre-foreclosures checked off and cash buyers checked off, I wasn't looking for cash buyers and pre-foreclosures. I was looking for pre-foreclosure results first, followed by cash buyers results right after. And so there was a lot of confusion there. To simplify things, we made it into a single drop-down menu. This will give our users the ability to select one category type and then work their way down and apply any potential other categories. Like if the pre-foreclosure is on the MLS, does the pre-foreclosure also have a lien, a bankruptcy? So the idea again is to just make things easier, choose one list type and work your way down. All right, so another update that we also applied in the filter section is within the property characteristics. What we've done now is that in the property type, you will see that land is no longer attached to other. This will allow our users to strictly view land results only. We've also, as you can see, applied a minimum and maximum value to our bedrooms, bathrooms. This will now allow our users to search within a certain bedroom range, no longer 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus. That's also the same with bathrooms. Another update within the filter section is in the value trend. A filter that we've added is giving the ability to search by estimated rental income. So this is very important for some of our buy and hold investors. So if you know you're looking to invest in an area and you're looking to have it rent out for a certain amount, you can now search for that particular criteria. All right. And the last update that we applied is in the equity and mortgage information. So what we've done here is we've added a little bit more criteria, beginning with equity percentage. So instead of looking for an estimated equity dollar amount, you can now search for a percentage. So does the person have 40% in equity at minimum or 70% minimum equity on its property? We also applied interest rate, so you can now search for a particular interest rate. Maybe you're helping them refinance or consolidate. You also have the ability to search for mortgage term, maturity date, and the loan type as well, which includes all of the following. All right, so that's our new filter. Again, we're constantly updating and more will come, but as of now, those are the recent updates that we've just applied. What we've also done in terms of updating our application is in regards to our comparables section. So let me pull up Atlanta really quick and just grab a quick property here. All right. And what you're going to see here, actually, let me see if I have one with a little bit more comparables to look at. Let's see here. I need some good comps. So bear with me one moment here. Let's find one with a picture and some comps. All right, perfect. Here's 29 comps, and this is what I wanted to show you. So another update we implemented was within the property details. So when you pull up a property, what we've done now is we understand that some areas will have a lot of comparables, some will not. In some cases, when you're looking at the comparables, some of the results may not be true comparables. So what we've done is we've applied a maximum minimum now. So now we can isolate a particular bedroom size, no more 1+, 2+, 3 bedroom or 3+ layout, same with bathrooms. But what we've also allowed you to do is now deselect and select any true comps. So by deselecting any comps here, for example, any 4 bedrooms or 2 bathrooms, what you will notice that we've applied is a summary. So this summary is located right above the first result, and what it will do is instantly calculate anything that has been selected. So after deselecting my not true comps, I have now a new average sell price, a new days on market, and we can see how dynamic that is. For example, if I deselect number 1, we now have 25 selected. My average sell price has changed. My days on market will change as well, and you can see how that will constantly change depending on how many have been deselected. So we're giving you a much more dynamic results, no longer having to hit the view report, which I still highly recommend. Having a report is definitely key. Again, the report will do exactly what the summary is doing, is based on what you've selected, it will generate a PDF report for you showing your low, your high, and your average. So the report, for me personally, is still highly important, but we'll give you the summary prior to that. We're also giving you the ability to add the results to a list or save the results to a group. So if you're looking to utilize this as a report for an audience, maybe a seller or a buyer, use it as a motivation tool, we're now giving you the ability to instantly take all the comps and save it to a group. So that way you can export it and provide it to them later on. So that's the latest update in our comparables and nearby listings section. The final updates are located in our campaign section. So what we've done here in the campaign section is we've given you the ability to essentially customize certain features even more. So here's a test campaign I've run. So the first thing you'll notice that we've done is we've updated your editor here. So you have your website. You can add logos, images. So the layout's a little bit different than previous. But the biggest change is going to be in our postcard section here. So what we've done is we've applied a very robust, user-friendly editor. So to begin, when you start your postcard, it's going to ask you to name the postcard. Again, choose your standard or large size postcards. The third option is whether you want to save this design for future use. So after you design it, do you want the system to save it so you can use it later on? And then the fourth option is, do you want to start with a blank postcard, or would you like to use one of our templates? So let's get to the blank postcard. So what our editor has done now is we've pretty much allowed you to go full-blown web designer on the postcard. So beginning with the front side, on the left side, you can upload your own images. If you don't have a template or any images you can upload, you can go straight to advanced edit. And at this point, you'll be given a blank canvas where you can do all your customization. So we can change the background image to, for example, a yellow card. I can apply a background image. I can apply a logo. I can add additional images on this postcard. We can apply a header. We can change the font, the size. We can, after applying it, if I change my mind, it doesn't belong there, we can click on it and then realign it. So ultimately, our users are given, again, full-blown access to customizing their postcards, so that way you're not having to use our templates or something that you've seen already in the neighborhood. So for anybody out there that feels customization, more personal items on the postcard will better their results in terms of getting contacts, have at it. All right, and so ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much the latest updates that we've applied with our system. Now, what I like to do, as Ty was mentioning, is I like to kind of show you guys an example with this new filter on how we can build a list. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to search in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm going to build a list in front of you, a list of potential sellers and a list of potential buyers. All right, so let's start off with going to Atlanta, Georgia. And for this example, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking for tax liens in Atlanta, Georgia. There's over 42,000 involuntary liens, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to narrow it down to a specific type of tax lien. So let me show you how that works. So now that I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, I'm going to go to filter. The first thing it's going to ask me to do is, do you want the owners to be occupying the property? And for me, yes. Don't want to have to chase them down or come across any rental property, so I'll save me the time. In regards to list type, I'm going to choose liens.
Well, Burton, do with them not living there, because a lot of times um, uh, we as investors slash wholesalers, we like the vacant properties, the level of motivation.
That is a solid bring up. Okay, let's do that. So owner occupied, no. And then list type, we'll do liens. Property type, we'll do single family. And then for this one, I'm going to be looking for any property between 1 to 3 bedrooms, 1 to 2 bathrooms. I'll leave square footage open. I'll leave lot size, your built and home features open. In regards to MLS status, I do not want the property on the market for this example, so I'm going to hit no for on market. My personal reasons for this is I want to make sure they haven't signed a contract with the broker yet. It still gives me the availability to deal with them directly. Foreclosure status, I'm going to leave that alone. I do not want this property in foreclosure at the moment, so the less the public knows about it, the better for me. In regards to owner info, I can specify the years of ownership, last sale date. For me, I want to deal with individual owners that have a tax lien. I don't want to deal with corporations, so I'm going to isolate to just individuals. Now, here's the bread and butter part. So in regards to the lien amount, I'm going to specify that I want something at least 10,000 recorded against the property. All right, maybe not go more than, let's say, 60,000. All right, and then I'm going to specify that I only want tax liens. And then last but not least, value trend. So if I wanted to put a certain range that I'm only able to play with, so let's say I only want the properties within 200,000 to 600,000, no more than that. I could, again, if I'm looking to rent it out, I can specify, what it potentially could rent out for. I usually am a wholesaler, so I'll leave that alone. And then for me, the equity mortgage information. So now that we have the equity percentage, for example, I like to look for properties that have all the criteria I just implemented, but they're also sitting on 50% at minimum equity. So either they've paid off 50% of their mortgage if the property hasn't changed in value, or that the property has increased by 50%, giving us that 50% in equity that we're looking for. So now that I have all of my criteria implemented, I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And what we've done now is we went from 42,000 involuntary liens to 22 of them that fit our criteria. So now this is the opportunity where I can click on those properties and, again, check out the comps, make sure the comps are in the right value. Now, utilizing our new comp section, I can filter out my comps, so only show me the 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And you can see that we went from 30 property comps to 6 of them with the new average sell price and days on market for them. Okay, so we can see how that's instantly coming into play with the new features that we've implemented. All right, now that I've isolated my 22, I can go ahead and save that. So I'm going to save that into a new group. I'm going to call this my Atlanta tax liens. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we just did now is we potentially created a list of motivated sellers. Now we're going to try to find motivated buyers that match those properties. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear all, search Atlanta once again. And now we're going to locate some cash buyers. So rather than going through 81,000 cash buyers, I'm going to go to filter and work from top to bottom. So, do my cash buyers need to be occupying the property? Well, it doesn't really matter. As long as they have the money, they can live there or not live there. So we'll leave that under any list type. We're going to want cash buyers. And now we match up the property characteristics of the properties that we were searching. So I'm looking for cash buyers that are buying anything between 1 to 3 bedroom and 1 to 2 bathrooms. As for MLS status, do I want them to be listing their properties? Now, it really doesn't matter because I might come across buyers that have bought a property. 6 months later, they're now listing that property. So I'll leave on market under any because ultimately it doesn't really matter for me. Foreclosure status, I'm going to leave that alone. I don't want any cash buyers, obviously, and in foreclosure, then I wouldn't really consider them a cash buyer. They're more in default if that's the case. Ownership info, for me, the important part here is whether I want to deal with a corporate or individual cash buyer. So some of you might think, corporations have a lot of money, so let's go ahead and search corporations, while others might feel that, individuals are easier to deal with in terms of buying properties and investing and so forth. So we'll let you choose there. For this example, I'll choose corporate buyers. And then I can specify if these properties that these guys have liens on them. Of course, I'm going to leave that alone.
But Burton, let's do 2 things on that. On the owner type,
yeah,
do any, and then back up there on owner occupied, do no.
No, you got it.
And the reason we do that is because ideally, as a wholesaler, you want to deal with repeat buyers.
Yeah.
You want to increase your chances of repeat buyers. And then on the owner type, some of them will be corporate, some of them will be individual. So that's why I say any on that
one. Solid criteria. If you guys heard that, you might want to write that down. That is a great tip for everyone. All right. And then in terms of cash buyers, again, estimated value. So I'm looking for cash buyers that match the same property values I searched initially. So between 200,000, 600,000. And that's pretty much it. So I'll leave that all there. I'll hit apply and boom. So of the 81,000 cash buyers, I have isolated 1,800 of them that are buying single family properties between 1 to 3 bedrooms, 1 to 2 bathrooms that range within the $200,000 to $600,000 price value. And these are all, in this particular case, corporate or individual buyers. So what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and save as many as I can. So I'll add it to a list. This is going to be a marketing list. So the difference between saving and adding to a list is that saving will only allow you to save up to 100. Add to lists will allow you to save up to 1,000. So in this particular case, I want as many cash buyers as possible that I can market to. So I'm going to save the first 1,000, the most recent 1,000 on this list, and I'm going to call this the Atlanta cash buyers. All right. All right. So all of them have been saved, and then we're going to just make sure that they're there. So
if you'll go back, Burton, back to that list again.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to refilter that. So hang on just a second.
No, don't worry about it. Just keep going. What I was going to show them is that how you can only save the first 1,000, but if you did the filter over here on this list over here, you could go from 1,001 to the 877 for the second
Bingo. Yeah, what he's referring to again, ladies and gentlemen, says after you save the first 1,000, so after highlighting, let me go back. You do that. So let's clear all. We'll go back to Atlanta, Georgia. Let's say we're interested in vacant properties. You can save the first 1,000. So highlight, add to list, you'll save the first 1,000. Let's say you want to save the next 2,000. Click on filter, and now you can have the system show you results 1,001 to
2,000.
the remaining. Correct. And then you can now save the following 1,000 and just keep following that process until all are saved. All right, so once your groups have been saved, obviously they're going to go in your properties. We've talked about this before, but I just want to make sure that my groups are here. So I have my Atlanta tax liens, and then I have my Atlanta cash buyers. All right, so what we've done, ladies and gentlemen, is within a few clicks, a few moments, we've now isolated 17 properties that are potential sellers, and we potentially have 1,800 cash buyers that may be interested in those 17 properties. The next step is gathering contact information. So we'll go into the contacts page, and we'll process our skip trace feature. So that's the append jobs. So we'll click on add new. Step 1, select your contacts. So I'll select that. Here at the top, you're going to have to select the drop-down menu and choose the group you want to append contact information from. So I'm going to choose my Atlanta tax liens. Their names will populate in alphabetical order. So I'm going to add that to the bottom box. So once they're in the bottom box and highlighted in yellow, I can continue to add more groups, or I can proceed with this list. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with this list for now. All right, once we have our list selected, we're going to go ahead and hit next. And now it's just a breakdown of what I'd like per address. For each address, I'd like as much information as possible. It's 10 cents per item. So I'd like 1 landline, up to 2 cell phones, up to 2 emails. You are given the option, we automatically scrub the list on the National Do Not Call list. You have the option to not do that. You will be held legally responsible for that information. So once you select your options, go ahead and hit next. You'll be given down your breakdown costs. So here it's telling me what my authorization costs will be, and then I will place my order. We're now giving you the ability to name the append feature. So I can now call this my Atlanta tax liens with contact info. All right, I'll hit done. And I will see that group here. And with it being that it has a few numbers, it should take anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes to process this list. Once that's completed, I'll repeat the same process, except this time I will choose my marketing lists, my Atlanta cash buyers. All right, I'll hit done. I can modify, once my contacts have been selected, I'll hit next, choose the items I'd like, choose whether I'd want to scrub the list or not. I'll hit next. And unfortunately, because I have an existing job already in play, I can't perform. But ultimately, you see the point. It'll give me my breakdown. I'll be able to place an order, rename it to the Atlanta cash buyers with contact information. And then within, I would say within about 15 minutes to an hour, depending on how large your list is, you'll now have your Atlanta tax liens with contact information, followed by your Atlanta cash buyers with contact information. And then again, what you'll end up seeing is once the process is completed, we'll go from names with no emails and phone numbers to here's one where we have emails and phone numbers automatically applied once it's completed. All right, and that's building your list there for you. Was there anything else you'd like me to add?
No, that's it. Guys, we wanted to show you the new updates for PropStream, and hopefully this helps. Any new updates, we'll do another video. So here's your opportunity to, you've already taken advantage of the free 5-day trial. Dive in. It can be a very useful tool to help you do deals. It's not going to do deals for you. It's only a tool, just like GPS. GPS will tell you where to go, but you still have to go there. Same thing with this. But again, we appreciate Burden offering his time up, his valuable knowledge. on maneuvering through this valuable tool. So again, thanks again, and we will see you guys on the flip side.